Hi everyone, I'm Shaheen from The Content Mix, and I'm excited to be here with Elise Duchateau, EMEA Marketing Director at Nuxeo, a global content services platform. Thanks so much for joining us, Elise.
Thanks for having me, Shaheen.
Can you start out just by telling us a bit about yourself, where you're from and what you do?
So I'm based in Paris right now. I've been living in Spain, in New Zealand, in Bordeaux, Dijon. So I like to see myself as a citizen of the world, I would say.
Okay, and can you tell us a bit about your role at Nuxeo?
So my goal as an EMEA Marketing Director at Nuxeo is to lead all the marketing activities for the region and to help the region grow. So I have a focus on France, UK, Ireland, DACH, Benelux, and Nordics. And I'm in charge of delivering the right message to the right audience, taking into account cultural differences and market maturities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you're based in Paris now, right? So you're joining us.
Yes.
Okay.
True, correct.
And you work with markets all over the region, like you said.
Exactly. So I used to travel a lot before COVID.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. Yeah, and so this year a lot less travel. Yeah. So can you just give us some context about what Nuxeo does? And so what are smart content applications?
So Nuxeo is an innovative platform that helps enterprises manage better their information in order to improve their customer experiences, productivity, efficiencies. So basically, the platform can manage billions of assets, such as document, photo, videos, 3D files, all type of contents, really. And the platform includes all the latest technologies, such as AI, to better store, search, and retrieve information, as well as automate content-based processes.
Mm-hmm. So who's your target audience or your target clients? Who are the people who use this?
So all the enterprises needs to better manage information, especially at these times. Mm-hmm. But we have the majority of our clients are within two industries, which are financial services and retail CPG. So for financial services, we are targeting enterprise architects or director of claims, people that really want to modernize their IT systems or digitalize their processes. And for retail and brands, we are targeting more creative operation or marketing director that wants to help, that wants to manage better their digital assets. So photo, videos, 3D files, etc.
I see. So what are your most important channels for reaching those audiences?
So I would say website, the website, professional social network such as LinkedIn, emailing, industry media as well, webinars, virtual events right now, virtual, all these kind of channels.
Yeah, I see. So do you have an example of like a campaign or a piece of content that's worked really well for you recently?
So what we really like to do at Nuxeo is we like to really understand our audience and really respond to their needs. So we like to run local survey, for example. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did in this year. We did 2 local surveys, one on financial services and one on retail CPG. And we surveyed, like for financial services, for example, we surveyed financial services worker to really understand what were their challenges in terms of Brexit, innovation AI, or time they were spending to look for information every day. Like 1 hour per day, they was looking for information. It's huge. And really to help our customer understand their challenges and how to respond to it. We did the same with retail and brand. We focus more on customers. So really understand what their customer were expecting from them, in terms of brand consistency, in terms of interaction and channel, etc., to help our customer. Mm-hmm. And these kind of pieces are really successful, are really appreciated by the press and our audience.
So what does like the end result look like with this kind of content?
So basically, for financial services, what was really surprising was the time they were spending per day looking for information, because they had a lot of system in place. So it was really interesting to see how much productivity enterprises were losing because of people trying to look for information and couldn't have the right tool to really retrieve the information. So that's how we really understand what the challenges are into our enterprise, our audience, and how we can letting them know that we can help them with our solution. Actually.
Mm-hmm. I see. So what do you think is important to keep in mind when creating content marketing materials in your industry?
So I think what's the most important is to focus on, or to really have in mind why you create this content and for who. Because I've seen a lot of content pieces in the industry focusing on their enterprises or their products. And that's fine, you know. It's usually normal when you really believe into your company product, that you want to tell the rest of the world that you have the best product in the world, and that's understandable, I would say. But if you want to do content marketing, I think content marketing starts with altruism, for me, in my opinion. And so you really need to focus on your audience. And that's when you really want to help your audience, that you start building trust, and that you start understanding them better and offering them the best product. Mm-hmm. And so I think, content marketing shouldn't feel like marketing for me. Mm-hmm. And if it does feel like marketing, maybe you need to change your approach.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads into my question about tone of voice. I mean, how does tone of voice play into the content you produce? How would you describe the tone that you use?
So for tone of voice, we try to stay dynamic, straightforward, and simple. Because we focus on a European audience as well. So we try to focus more on benefits rather than technology, in order to simplify the message and democratize our vision.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, so you're responsible for marketing in the EMEA region. So how do you make your content resonate in the different geographies across the region?
So we focus on, I would say we focus on the right language, the right message, the right time, and that for each country. Because so Europe is difficult because there is so much culture, so much different languages, and you need to understand the right language for your audience. So it depends on the industry, depends on your audience. But like, for example, at Nuxeo, even if we target people that speak English in France, for example, they speak English, but they want to consume content in French. And if you don't understand that, you never will reach out to them, actually. And even sometimes when we have some Anglicism into our slide, they complain about it. So you need, so we need to really try to choose the right language for the right region. And after we define the message. As I said, like, Europe is usually really straightforward, more straightforward than in other regions in the world. And so we try to really focus on benefits, what they're going to get from it, The titles are usually longer. And what they're going to get from it, they keep on our promises. So we promise something in a title and we will deliver in our content. And that's how we keep people coming back for consuming more content.
Mm-hmm. So do you think your experience having like lived and worked in so many different places has helped you in your role now?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I've been traveling around. Since my study, I've always been amazed by intercultural differences, and I even created a local non-profit organization. I mean, I need international mobility and intercultural openness. I like, this kind. I think it's really interesting and really rich. All these different way of thinking, different vision, and yeah, definitely. I think the fact that I love to travel, I've been living in different countries, helped me in my position right now because I'm open to that. So, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And are curious about like the different cultures, even if it's not one that you are specifically like have lived in yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I try to learn languages as well because I think language is really an interesting part of culture. And when you learn a new language, you better understand the culture. But yeah.
So could you tell us a bit about your background, like how you got into marketing in the first place?
So I did business school and I had studied in Spain and France, so I had a double degree in French and Spanish. And after I specialized in international marketing and communication. So I really entered my first job as a media consultant. So it wasn't so marketing, it was more communication. But it helped me really. So I was doing media curation for a lot of different enterprises. And so it really helped me being curious about the market trends and the industry, the media curation. So it helped me in my job. But my approach when I'm taking a new opportunity or a new job is always to keep on a new challenge. So I like to learn, I like to try new things. And so I always try to change the perimeter of my job and keep on a new challenge and approach that like this.
Mm-hmm. So how did you go from like being a media consultant to moving into management roles?
So
in marketing, actually.
Yeah. So I did marketing before because I created my local non-profit organization, as I said, when I was a student. And this local non-profit organization, I affiliated to a network of big local non-profit organizations in the world working with the European Commission around intercultural mobility and this kind of stuff. So I was a communication manager before for this network at the national level, and I did street marketing before as well. So I knew the space, but what happened is, it's a big step between media consultant and marketing manager because that's happened to me. But it was really a question of, I met the CEO of my old company, mm-hmm. And it was a match. So we had the same vision. He wanted to create a marketing environment and a business environment in his company, and I wanted to take on a new challenge. So I asked him to give me the position and to let me prove myself in terms of I can do it. Mm-hmm. And I know I can do it, and you will not regret it. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, it sounds like you have like a really entrepreneurial mindset. You started your own nonprofit, which I actually didn't know about. That's not on your CV,
No.
but and then you were responsible for like setting up the marketing department at your previous company, and then again in your current role. Now you're also set up everything kind of from zero for the European
Europe.
operations, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah, in my deep down, in my deep inside. Yeah.
so well, I mean, it sounds like an interesting story about. Can you like tell us more, like the nonprofit? Does it still exist, and what was the story there? That sounds like it was kind of the root to everything else you did in a way. Huh?
Yeah, maybe. I never actually visioned that like that, but yeah. Yeah, it still exists. It's still a big network. It's called Erasmus Student Network,
Mm-hmm.
EXESN. It's a big network. You can watch that online. It's really nice network of all these people all around the world, coming from different expertise, different fields, and willing to promote international mobility and willing to promote the intercultural openness. It's an amazing network, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you can meet some wonderful people there.
Yeah, it's actually really well known because I used to work in the student accommodation space. I've actually heard of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
what a coincidence.
Mm.
So yeah, very cool. And I mean, how do you think your experience there, I guess, like has impacted the rest of your career? What your interests and what you're doing now?
I think the fact that I actually created the network and I took some risk there, financial risk, and I did a lot of stuff that I didn't know about before. Like I didn't know about creating something. So it was maybe the first step in my career saying, okay, if you want to do something, you can do it. You just need to try, to fail sometime, to experience it, and maybe like you can do it if you really are willing to learn, and it just do it. And I think that helped me to get confidence in myself and in the rest of my career, saying, okay, I can take on this new challenge because that's how I will grow. That's how I will improve myself and learn new skills. And I'm confident that I can actually learn a lot. And I think for a marketer, it's even more important because you always need to learn because it's always evolving what we're doing in terms of job and activities. So, yeah.
So can you tell us more about like what goes into setting up a marketing department?
So first is to get to really understand the environment. So like for Nuxeo was corporate marketing, the different stakeholders into the company, and after understand the processes, get the processes done for you and for your needs, for your department. Think about scalability because you create from, like for first person at the beginning, and after you need to think about growing a team. So thinking about scalability and start building processes where you can actually involve different people into it. And it's really a question of be a hard worker. You need to work hard, be hands-on, and being multitask. You need to manage everything at the beginning and start building. Be really organized.
Yeah, figuring out things as you go along, adapting to different challenges. Sounds
Yes.
like. Yeah. Well, that kind of answers my next question about what you think are important skills to have as a marketing manager. But that kind of covers it, I suppose. Any others?
Yeah, definitely curiosity, agility, flexibility, and willing to learn more. I think that's the main thing. You need to train yourself, always train yourself and learn more because it's always evolving.
Yeah. So actually goes into my next question, which is about how do you stay up to date on marketing trends, or how do you keep your skills fresh?
So I read a lot. I have a daily curation on marketing, on industry trends. That's come from my old media consultancy job. But I read a lot of other stuff as well, like innovation in other industries or novels or theater pieces. I love to read anyway, but I think it's really important to open your mind into other stuff rather than only your industry or only marketing. I think there is a whole really interesting thing around that you can really that can really inspire you as well.
Do you have any favorite marketing or business book in particular you'd recommend?
I like a book which is Blue Ocean Strategy. It's a business book, and it's really inspired me to look at new market segments, new demands, new audiences. Blue Ocean Strategy is a book that's telling you how to compete in blue ocean and not red ocean. So red ocean is the market competition as usual, I would say. And blue ocean is open your mind to other market segments. And it's really, really interesting. I really advise it to really keep you open.
Yeah, actually, it's a classic that I haven't personally read, and several people have recommended on the podcast. Yeah. So I definitely have to read it. Yeah.
But it's on the list. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Well, so do you have any professional role model?
I would say Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister. She's for me, she's efficient, empathetic, and transparent. And because of that, she gained the trust of her people and an international admiration, I would say. And I think really like she would have been a really great content marketer. She's better at her position.
Probably. Yeah, multi-talents. Yeah. Well, do you have any productivity hack? Or any tips for being efficient? Yeah.
I run every day. So I run 7 kilometers before I start my day. And it helps really clear my mind and begin my day without stress and, more dynamic. So, yeah, I think my productivity hack is my run. I have a written to-do list as well. It's not new. It's kind of old. I have a written to-do list, but it works with me as well. It's a good productivity hack.
Definitely. Yeah, solidifying ideas on paper can be good. And any favorite software tool or app at the moment? Either professional or personal.
So all the tools that helps automate my activities are my favorite apps at the moment. So at Nuxeo, we use Marketo and Liber for social network automation, but I used to like HubSpot a lot as well.
That you've used in other contexts, I guess. Yeah. Cool. And then, any other resources for marketers, like online communities, publication, podcast, any kind of other things that come to mind?
So Definitely, I would advise the Golden Cycle or the HubSpot Academy and blog. I think they are great assets to be read. And what I like as well, and what I like to advise is a novel. It's Lady's Delight from Emile Zola. It's not a marketing book at all. It's really a novel, but I like it because it's really about how to be the risk of disruption for those who are not embracing change when it comes. So actually, the book is about the arrival of malls, but it's the modern accuracy of this book, even as of today. It's wonderful. I love it.
Very cool. So yeah, sometimes you need to read something that's not only business, and it can actually inspire you in your work.
Yeah.
So we're reaching the end of the interview, so I just wanted to give you the chance to give us any parting advice or final thoughts, takeaways for other marketers in Europe.
I think 2020 has been hard. It's been a tough year, and 2021 might be even harder than we saw. But I think we can take that as an opportunity to actually create, innovate, and maybe rethink our content marketing approach. And I think we can see that really as an opportunity. 2021 can actually be the best year to grow for us. So let's embrace it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great message to end on. So thank you so much, Elise, for sharing your insights with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Shaheen, for having me.
And thank you. And thanks everybody for listening in. For more perspectives on the content marketing industry in Europe, check out thecontentmix.com and keep tuning into the podcast for daily interviews. See you next time. Bye-bye.